This is the worst. Worst episode ever.
Y'all see him in the street struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
What's up, guys? Just here back on my channel. We're back to Reaction to Chernobyl. This is episode 4, The Happiness of All Mankind. Now, I have to assume that title's in regards to the completion of the current task being worked on and all the people being sent in there pretty much to their deaths in order for the greater good of the world. It just really sucks to see because, yeah, the ones responsible should have to pay and be punished, and pretty much most of them already are, but the ones that we're watching and following now, these are innocent people, so it's just really hard to watch. But I did get one comment here that I did want to read off because it kind of builds on the previous one that I read on my last reaction. So yeah, this is from Brudnick39. You guys should see it on the screen here. Here's what he had to say. It is great that you're learning from the comments. I don't want to spoil too much, but the previous commenter was slightly off. RBMK reactors can be unstable pretty much under any conditions. It can even be unstable when it is in normal operation. The core of the RBMK is so large it can have pockets of lower and higher reactivity, and the monitoring systems cannot really detect those lower high reactivity areas. Something the makers of the show changed for entertainment purposes in this episode is the way the coal minister and coal miners interacted. The deputy minister of mining met with the miners and basically gave them 24 hours to be ready to go to Chernobyl. There was no humorous coal dust on the suit moment, which is a little bit disappointing to hear, but that's okay. The meeting between the minister and the miners is covered in the History vs. Hollywood article I recommended, as is the fact the miners did not work in the nude. And that fact is a little less disappointing. But thank you so much for the comments and kind of keep me on the right track, guys. It really is appreciated. But yeah, I have heard this is a rough episode as well, so I think I'm just about ready to jump right in and check it out. If you guys look for my full reaction to the show, link to my Patreon is down in the description below. Now subscribe to the channel. Now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash the like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. What is that sound? Sounds like something dragging on metal.
Did you hear me?
The animals.
This is an evacuation, you understand? You have to come with me.
Why?
Game of Thrones?
Because they told me, so now I'm telling you.
I'm 82. I've lived here my whole life. Right here, that house, this place.
I have a job.
I mentioned that last
Don't
episode.
cause trouble.
The old people.
Trouble. After all that I have seen.
She's been through so much already.
So I should leave now? Because of something I cannot see at all? No.
She's taking it. It's for her own good, though.
Yes, 1 moment!
Can't help but think of my grandma in this situation.
Please stand up now.
Especially as an 86-year-old Hungarian immigrant.
This is your last warning.
Come on. Killed the cow. Just please do not do that to the cat. Alright, another happy start. Yeah, smoke near the pregnant lady. I don't even know if there's a chance that her baby could be okay. I don't know. Man.
Why is the core still exposed to the air? Why are we not already covered this up?
We want to. The debris on the roof is graphite from the core itself. Until we can push it off the roof back into the reactor, it'll kill anyone who gets near it.
We used remote control bulldozers in Afghanistan.
Too early. They'll fall right through.
Lunacard's STR-1s. They're light, and if we line them with lead, they can withstand the radiation.
We couldn't put a man on the moon. At least we can keep a man off the roof.
That is the most important
It's a good
thing,
line
General.
there.
Under no circumstances can men go up there. If you were to stand there in full protective gear, head to toe, for 2 minutes, your life expectancy would be cut in half. By 3 minutes, you're dead within months.
I didn't realize we still had more to deal with here. I thought the fire was out. We were pretty much good
What
there.
do we do?
Still all this graphite to deal with.
10's 181.
Surprised paranoia has become more of a thing. People freaking out.
Macho,
Pablo.
give me an egg basket.
No, I've only got the one.
Give me the fucking basket. He's with me. You understand? Nobody fucks with him. We
My
make
boy
these for-
Macho!
Put it on your balls. Over your clothes. Fucking shit.
You could have stopped him before.
We do animal control.
Animal control.
Yeah.
No! I love her determination. Like, she came here to do work out of her own will.
I need to see the following documents. They're listed as permission only.
Very few words being exchanged here.
She can have that one.
Thank you, comrade.
He's just grilling her. It still almost seems like unbelievable that this actually happened. On the world we live in. Graphite still. All I know is now, if I ever am near an explosion of any sort, I see any sort of rubble like that that's even remotely black, I'm not going near it.
Bring up the cameras.
To think that's what we put on the moon. I'm not that one. I know, not that one.
This rover was in storage. They can build 2 more. That should
Wow.
come in here and catch it. Begin.
Well, hey, what's that? Smile.
Pushing it back in.
I see your condition has improved, Comrade Dyatlov.
No, leave.
I need your help.
This guy's a dick. You won't give it.
When you gave the order,
Order, what order? Topped it off, called it out. Akimov pressed it. It was the only good decision they made. Incompetent morons.
can you confirm that the reactor exploded after they attempted to shut it down?
How do I even know it exploded, huh?
Are you... What the fuck? This guy can't be serious. I'm like at a loss for words here.
So everything's my fault then? Is that what this is?
I'm not here to blame you. I'm
We
here
just want to make
find
sure
out
this doesn't
what
happen again, man.
And whether you realize it or not, I'm your best chance to avoid a bullet.
I have no idea what would have gone here. Void coefficients have nothing to do with AZ5. There, now you can go. Ask the bosses whatever you want, you'll get the lie. No, we'll get the bullet.
I do not want to see this. Even if I tell myself, like, yep, this is just a TV series. No animals were actually harmed during the making of this. It's still based off real events.
I only have 2 rules. 1, don't point this gun at me. That's easy, right? 2, if you hit an animal and it doesn't die, keep shooting until it does. Don't let them suffer.
Okay, that's
Or I'll kill you.
respectable.
Understand? I mean it. I've killed a lot of people.
I do like that. 'Cause I do understand as well
I'm ready.
for anybody in the comments, like, hey, this has to be done. I understand that. But at the same time, I don't want to see animals suffer. Nobody does. Unless you're a fucking psychopath. My stomach's like already starting to turn, though.
Once we start, they'll run inside where they feel safe. So we go door to door. Okay? Good.
Fuck. Ugh, I'm not okay with this.
Hey, do your job. Door to door.
He doesn't want to do it. I don't blame him. Oh, put it out of this fucking misery, man. What are you doing? What the fuck did he tell you? Don't let them fucking suffer.
Don't let them suffer.
I threw in the F in, but
You're dragging that to the truck.
same thing said.
This happens to everyone the first time. Normally when you kill a man. But for you, a dog, you put a bullet in someone. You're not you anymore. You'll never be you again. Then you wake up the next morning and you're still you. And you realize
You gotta live with it.
that was you all along. You just didn't know.
This kid reminds me of Michael from Peaky Blinders. Same face.
The happiness of all mankind.
What?
Our goal is the happiness of all mankind.
Episode title.
Yeah.
Guessing it says that there as well. Even though I don't like their job or their tasks they've been given, well, it just seems pretty cool. I think I was judging him a little bit harshly at first. He knows what it is, what has to be done. Alright, so this is the other one that they wanted, we were talking about earlier. Okay.
Joker.
Motor's good. Signal's good.
All right, let's take this easy.
Germans. Reverse one.
Uh-oh. I was just about to say
Lose the
too.
signal.
There's no way this goes well.
It's dead.
That quickly. He is snapping.
Tell fucking Gorbachev! Tell him!
It's going off.
They told the Germans that the highest detected level of radiation was 2,000 Roentgen. They gave them the propaganda number. We need another robot. One that can withstand the radiation.
We use bio-robots.
Ben.
Sacrifice more men. Now back to this. My favorite part of the episode. I'm just hoping and praying. I did see a cat earlier. I don't want to see a cat put down though. I know dogs it's still rough, but as an owner of 2 cats,
Not
I
today.
just can't. Please don't. And they have to do a close-up too. I'm so gonna freaking play with my cats after this. Give them treats. Oh, puppies. I don't want to see this.
Look at me. I'm talking to you. Just go outside.
Oh, I think I would be sick. Bacho is a strong man. This is the worst. Worst episode ever.
The Soviet people have had enough of this accident. They want us to clean it up, and we have entrusted you with this serious task. Because of the nature of the working area, you will each have no more than 90 seconds to solve this problem. This is a working area. We must clear the graphite. Some of it is in blocks weighing approximately 40 to 50 kilograms. They all must be thrown over the edge here. These are the most important 90 seconds of your lives. Commit your task to memory, then do your job.
We got so much equipment on, but I still wouldn't feel safe.
Go.
Move, move, move. I feel like it's already been 90 seconds. Get me out of here. Time to go. I'm right against it too. Oh my god. That was so bad.
You're done.
Say that again. He is done.
What are they asking you to do?
Tell the world what happened.
Well, then you'd better know what happened. I've constructed a timeline, minute by minute, second by second in some places.
She's good.
Every decision,
I'm definitely a
every
fan of
button
Ilana.
push, every turn of a switch.
Are they guilty?
Yes. Of gross incompetence, violation of safety regulations, recklessness beyond belief. But the explosion? I'm not sure. I think this article may have the answer. But 2 pages have been removed. You've seen this before.
In 1975, in an RBMK reactor at Leningrad, a fuel channel ruptured. The operators pressed AZ5, but instead of the power going down immediately, for a brief moment, it went up. If the boron control rods are completely withdrawn from the reactor, when they're put back in, the first thing that enters the core isn't boron. It's graphite. The control rods have graphite tips that displace water and steam. So the
it boosted slightly up.
It goes up dramatically.
Dramatically.
So it is their fault.
Yes.
But not only their fault.
No.
Do you know the name Vasily Ignatenko?
No.
He was a fireman. I've been looking in on his widow. She gave birth. A girl. The baby lived for 4 hours. They said the radiation would have killed the mother, but the baby absorbed it instead.
Wow.
Her baby.
Their baby.
We live in a country where children have to die to save their mothers. To hell with your deal. And to hell with our lives. Someone has to start telling the truth.
Congratulations, comrades. You are the last of 3,828 men who have performed your duties perfectly. I wish you good health and long life.
This kid's aged like 20 years. She probably blames herself too. Craig Mazin, you sick bastard, but this is history. That was a rough episode, guys. Alright, that was Chernobyl, episode 4, the happiness of all mankind, and yeah, these recaps are getting rougher and rougher for each one. I don't even want to do these anymore. By the end of the episodes, I just want to like lay down, turn off the lights, and just go to bed. Just forget about everything I just watched, because I guess you guys knew ahead of time going to this episode. You guys kind of let me know that this was going to be a rough episode. Just thinking about it now, some tears are already starting to form, but yeah, the extermination of all the animals. I brought it up last episode as well because they kind of already talked about it, that was coming, so I kind of already figured it would. I was just really hoping that they wouldn't actually show us, and I feel like they did a pretty good job of not getting too graphic with it, but they still definitely tugged at our heartstrings, bringing out that one kid. And Bacho, I was a little bit hard on him at first, but he seems like a good guy overall because he knows it's a job, it has to be done, and don't let the animals suffer any more than they actually have to. And then, of course, the kid, his first day on the job, he goes out there, he shoots a dog, and he doesn't kill it on the first shot, and it's just suffering there. Man, that was freaking brutal. That dog was such a good actor, though, looking right at the camera the entire time. Like, oh, man. And they showed so many cats, too. They showed a close-up of a cat. I started thinking about my own. I'm definitely going to hang out with my own cats after this. Just give them some pets and some treats. And, yeah, this was rough, man. Knowing, too, that all those animals, I'm trying to think, like, a positive spin on it, I guess. Like, those animals, they were all screwed over anyway. They were all contaminated, affected, and they were all going to be suffering at some point, so they kind of had to be put down, so it was in the best interest of the animals. But just seeing the animals too, like they were all left behind after everybody was evacuated. Oh, and then some of them were like just whimpering there. I can't imagine leave my animal behind, any of my animals behind. And then I was talking about too, I think I was just talking about this in Daryl Dixon, the Walking Dead spin-off show, but I was like, man, as a pet owner of 2 cats, I would not survive the apocalypse, because the last episode, episode 2, that did get blocked, unfortunately, AMC, you bastards. I saw your viewership numbers, so you guys could probably use my promotion and advertising. I don't know what you're doing blocking the episode, but yeah, I'm disputing it. But going back to that episode, 'cause I was like, they were showing the initial outbreak, and everybody was like collecting their stuff while they were leaving, and it kind of relates to this as well with the evacuation. But I was like, man, if I just had to leave town all of a sudden with 2 pets, two cats, I would not survive the apocalypse. But Now, bringing that back to this show, seeing everybody that they were just forced out of their homes, evacuated. They didn't really have a choice. They weren't given time to prepare either way. So the fact that they were forced to leave their animals behind even makes it worse. So yeah, that freaking sucks. And I even mentioned it last episode too. I'm like, when you're evacuating all these people, old people, man, they're gonna be a headache and a half. They're not gonna want to leave. They're not gonna give a shit. Like, regardless of how bad the situation is, who knows how long they've lived there. Like, they are stubborn. I know that from firsthand experience dealing with my own grandma and being a Hungarian immigrant. Yeah, she's hard to deal with. So, and she was even older than the first lady that they showed at the very beginning of the episode that was milking the cow there. Yeah, and we got another Game of Thrones cameo there with Pip, so that was pretty cool to see him back, even though he did have to put the cow down. But it was for the best interest of the woman. So he was just doing what he had to do. He's obviously just following orders, but it's still all around everything that we're being shown, like the consequences. Initially, I just thought this was going to be about the disaster, the blast, everything that goes down, and the explosion. And this show is way more than that. That was pretty much just the first episode. So every episode past that, we're now seeing the consequences, the aftermath of the explosion. And that's something I had no idea that I was going to get out of this series going into it. So yeah, now I fully get why so many people, I saw those thumbnails previously, every reactor that I'm already subscribed to that has already reacted to this series. I did see their thumbnails previously, but I don't watch any shows or any reactions to anything I haven't already seen for myself, because I feel like it's just not the same. So yeah, I knew it was going to be a rough series going in. I just didn't know why. So now I'm fully understanding why, and hopefully this was the worst of it, because we still have one more episode to go, the finale. And then Yulana even said that Yulana was even following the one woman because previously she had that run-in with her, that encounter where she initially got locked up. But yeah, she's been following her, and I guess want to see what actually happens to her and her child. And I guess what actually happened is the baby absorbed all the radiation. I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah, let me know if that character was a real life, or if that was based on a real character, or if something similar happened to somebody in real life, and that's why they're following that side story. But yeah, I can only assume that that was a real life occurrence, even if it wasn't based off an actual character, that it actually happened to somebody in real life. So seeing how that all played out, where she did give birth, she still somehow managed to even survive past that point, coming in first contact with her husband, who died of it, who also came in first contact with everything, with the uranium and the graphite. Oh man, it's so freaking brutal. And then the baby apparently had only survived for 4 hours after being born, and then because it absorbed all the radiation, she is still alive. So man, this show is so rough, but I feel like this is such an important show for me to watch because I'm not familiar with the history of it all. So that's why I'm definitely recommending it to anybody that hasn't seen it. But obviously there's still one more episode to go, so I don't know how this whole thing wraps up, how they're going to leave us here. I guess with the end results of the prosecution of everybody with the courts and the ultimate sentencing of everybody that was involved, because we saw at the very beginning, the very first episode, how this series actually started with Lazarov committing suicide, but he did get the information out there, the truth. He didn't record himself. He put the recording, he kind of stashed away as he was taking out the garbage. So I don't know if that was actually found by anybody. Like, that's what I'm saying, guys. I don't know the history of it all. I don't even know if that portion of it is real or not. But you guys have been doing such a great job at letting me know what is actually real, what has actually taken place out of what I've seen so far, and not actually spoiling it. I know it's very weird to say like spoilers when we're talking about history here, but just not knowing how it all plays out, I guess it's still considered spoilers. I think you guys know what I'm talking about when I mentioned that. But yeah, and then we also saw this episode, that crew that was sent in there in 90-second intervals, where they're forced to push it off the roof, the graphite, back into the core, what was remaining of it. Man, everything that we're seeing in the show, I just can't believe that this is real life, or was real life, that this actually took place in the world that we live in. So that whole scene there too was super intense. I feel like I blacked out during it, like as the detector was going off and getting louder and louder. The one dude was freaking out, and once he hit 90 seconds, you heard the bell ringing. 90 seconds, like get back in here, it's time to go. Like he started panicking, and then because of that, I feel like I started panicking, like having an anxiety or panic attack. Then he started freaking out, and his foot got caught, and of course it gets caught on the graphite itself, and then he like tears away at it. Doesn't initially realize the tear until he gets back inside, but then he trips, and you hear the detector going even louder, and he falls in a puddle there. Man, that was so freaking brutal. And then he finally gets inside, and the one guy's like, "Yeah, you're done, soldier, you're done." But I think kind of meant that in more ways than one, because he sees down, he looks down, he sees his boot, the cut in the boot. Man, they gave them so much equipment. It seemed like they were prepared enough going in, but knowing what they're actually dealing with, and regardless of how much equipment they're actually wearing, nothing can actually compare them for what they actually had to deal with in the aftermath of it all. Then we even heard after him, like, here's your ruples, like your 800 rubies or whatever, like, live long and prosper, enjoy the rest of your short-term life, because you're probably not going to be living too much longer. So I feel so bad for all these people involved, all the innocent people. Like Dyatlov, fuck that dude, man. He's even a dick to the end. You think he'd be even like come to terms with it all? Like, I even got choked up. I couldn't even get my words out for that one scene when he's like, "Oh, I don't even know if the core actually did explode or not." Like, you fucking prick, are you kidding me? After everything that's happened, like the sickness that you're experiencing yourself, you're still not willing to admit that you fucked up just because you don't want to take the blame of it all? Like, you bastard. I hope this guy got everything thrown at him. So I guess we're going to see his end result next episode. If he doesn't die, I'm surprised he's even still alive at this point. It's kind of pissing me off that all these innocent people are having to suffer, going through hell, when this guy, this prick, he's not even admitting to any fault of his own, and he's not even willing to help out, give any further assistance to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. And he's still being a prick to the end. So yeah, honestly, hopefully he's burning in hell right now, because I'm not a fan of his. Even though they did say at the end, like, it's not entirely all on them, but they were still like incompetent as hell, because they're pushing everything to the absolute max when they shouldn't have been. They weren't following proper procedures. So yeah, there's definitely some blame that falls on them, but there's more of a cover-up here, I guess, as well, as Mr. Lazarov was saying his at the very end, because he was saying, like, he kind of knew about this. The pages that were torn out of the report, he knew the person that initially wrote the report. He read the report for himself previously, the one that Yulana's giving to him, and she's like, I think this is a big deal. The work that she put in, this kind of like takes away from the work that she did put in for it all. Like, and who knows how many man hours that she did, that she actually put in regards to that report itself. So yeah, I felt bad for her as well, because she was kind of like dumbstruck and like taken back a little bit. They're like, yo, I'm working with you. I'm putting my own neck on the line here, doing everything I absolutely can for the better of humanity, the happiness of all. And there's still stuff that you're keeping from me. So that was a bit ridiculous, but that's probably why he's partially to blame as well at the very end, or I guess I should say at the very start of the series. But I'm not sure if it's partially blame, guilt, or just the sickness that he's already dealing with of it all, and just not wanting to deal with it all anymore. So yeah, as messed up as the show is, I'm still excited for the finale to see how it all wraps up, see how they conclude this whole experience. This has definitely been an experience for me, though. I'm definitely glad I am watching, even though this has been a rough experience for me, because this episode, especially those animals, the extermination scene, you guys knew it was coming too. If you guys have been a fan of my channel, or subscribed to my channel, or watched even a single reaction of mine before, and it involves any sort of animals, you guys know I'm a sucker when it comes to that thing. I don't even try to hide it. Like, there's no point. So yeah, it's already even coming back to me now just thinking about it. So this was a rough episode, but I still feel like it was a poor one. Very well made, very good episode. But yeah, I will say one thing. I will be so happy when this series is over and concluded, just so I don't have to put myself through this anymore. But knowing the history moving forward, I feel like just watching this series, it was definitely a good thing for me. It's been very educational. So yeah, one more episode to go, guys. Let's see if I can make it through it. So as always, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Until next time, I am out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't fun enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, then you play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well, I'm not the